nozzles. And this particular engine, after I rebuilt it, was having an overheating problem. And I don't know why, but I started thinking, well, I had to check the cooling nozzles. So you got to flip the engine over. Unless it's in your vehicle, then you got to lift the engine up about a foot to get this oil pan off, and it's super hard. I took the engine out because I'm doing some other things to it. But the cooling nozzle is a piece of plastic, and it's located down there, the main bearing, and it's a little tiny tube about 2 inches long, and it goes into the main bearing underneath the main bearing, and it sticks out the other side, and it squirts oil up into the piston, and it's supposed to keep it cool. So you can see that yellow nozzle, it sticks out, and there's 6 of them in here. And so that's for cylinder number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And all 5 of them are sticking out of the main bearings. And then I looked at this one down here, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me get my mirror down there. Let's see. Right there. Right there. Yeah. Well, I had the flashlight in my mouth, so I couldn't talk. Well, anyway, that cooling nozzle does not stick out of the main bearing. And I called Cummins, and they didn't know. None of them know, unless there's no pictures of it, and unless you find somebody who's rebuilt these and remembers exactly what it looks like, you don't know. So I went to Cummins forum last night, and I emailed a guy that mentioned something about it being different on the number 2 bearing. This is the number 1 bearing. You can see the number right there. Number 1. That's number 2. That's number 3. See? 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's 7 main bearings, and the oil coolers on 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. There's 6 of them. And on number 2 bearing, it's for the number 1 cylinder, and it does not stick out. It's got an extra long hole in there by design for some reason, and it does not stick out. I just can't hold the light, but it's flush, or maybe a 1/16 of an inch inside the main bearing there. So anyway, if you come across this situation, that's the deal. I was going to take this crankshaft out, and I got to take this plate off, and I got to take this front off and this plate off. It's a real difficult thing. I got to disconnect all the pistons, and it's real difficult. It's probably 8 hours of work to get to those cooling nozzles. But now I feel comfortable. I don't have to mess with it because they're all in there, and this one here is not sticking out, and I've confirmed that with a guy online, and Cummins couldn't confirm it, but I'm pretty comfortable about that. So now I'm gonna clean up this gasket, put a new gasket on, put my oil pan back on.